Hello everyone. Once again, it is Tech Tuesday. I'm Jasmine, Immersion Technology Assistant at the Muskingum County Library System. Today I'm going to be talking about Hoopla, our digital download system, and take you guys through some steps on how to use that. So if you've ever used Hoopla before, you might see some things that you've never seen before. And if you've never used Hoopla, then this should get you started. So I have a screen here of an Android phone. If you have an iPhone or an Apple product, it should be the same basic steps. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is download the Hoopla app. So I'm going to go to a Play Store. If you have Apple, you're going to be looking for your Apple Store. And type in Hoopla. It is going to look like this, Hoopla Digital Midwest Tapes, and it's going to be this blue square with the white letters. I have it downloaded already, so I'm just going to open it up. And it's going to take me straight to the Hoopla app. If you already have Hoopla, you can go ahead and log in. Today I'm going to go ahead and sign up for an account. So the first thing you'll do on Hoopla is you will put in an email address. If you have multiple accounts, like you have children or you and a partner are having an account, you want to have different email addresses for each library card. So it will not let you use the same email address for different library cards. Then you will create a password. It has to be at least 8 characters, and you want it to be unique to this account. Then I want you to agree to the privacy policy and terms and conditions. Click next. Oh, okay, let's see. My email addresses do not match. Oh, I see. Okay, let's try that again. That happens sometimes. Okay, so now it's going to ask me if it wants to search by location. I do have my location turned on from my Hoopla app, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my library, Muskingum County Library System, and then I'm going to click next. And then it's going to ask me for my library card and library pen. You will find your library card on your library card ID number on the back of your library card. Make sure you put it in all capital letters. If you don't have a library card already, you can sign up for one on our website, an instant digital access card, and you can start using that right away. So it looks like I've successfully created an account. So let's start with Hoopla. So this is what it's going to look like when you first sign up for an account. So let's get started borrowing some things. There's lots of different formats in Hoopla. There's audiobooks, movies, music, comics, ebooks, and television. And the monthly limit on Hoopla is 15 items. Now that is a set limit. Once you return something, it doesn't count for another borrow. It's 15 set. So let's start browsing some audiobooks. So I'm going to go ahead and click on audiobooks. It's going to take me to the popular tab, so I could go through and look through these popular items. I could also filter the popular items if I wanted. There's a couple different filters. There's user rating, release date if you're looking for something newer, the date added. So if you're looking for something that's newer to Hoopla, you can look through date added. There's also a lot of different languages they have available on Hoopla for different formats. And you can also do children's titles only, and you can exclude abridged titles if you just want the classic titles. You can also sort, so you can go straight to sort from here, or you can choose sort from up here. And there's these different options for sorting. So if you want to see the popular items first, or you just want A to Z, rating, user rating, date added, release date, there's lots of different ways to look through items. There's also a recommended tab, and this is based on the items that you have been downloading. It will recommend items based on that. When you first download Hoopla, it won't really give you items that you've downloaded because you haven't downloaded anything yet. But as you do that, it'll give you more items. There's featured tab. And then the very first tab over here is genres. So you can look at individual genres as well. So they start out with some popular ones, and then if you scroll down, it gives you all the different genres. And then there's lots of them. And then in Hoopla, there isn't, at least on the app, there isn't. If you're on like a website of Hoopla, then there is. But in the app, you have to use the back button to go back home. So we're going to go ahead and go back home. Now we're going to search for an item. So to search, you're going to use this magnifying glass up here. And then you can type in a title, an author, a keyword. You can also type in performers or artists if you're looking for a movie or a music album. So I'm just going to type in a keyword, dog, and then hit the search. And then it's going to give me everything in every format under dog. So from there, you can search through all these items, or you can use the filter option. You can break down the format. So if you know it's a book or a movie, you could do that. If you know it's newer, you could do the release date. If it's a different language, you could do that. So there's lots of different options for finding what you're looking for. If it's a specific title, it's probably going to be the first thing that pops up right up there. So I'm going to go back home. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to show you guys, especially if you have some kiddos using your Hoopla account, or if they have their own Hoopla account, there is a kids mode. So right up here next to the search button is kids. And to turn on kids mode, the fastest way to do that is just to click on it. And now there is a little check mark. So whenever I pull up any of these items or search for anything, or even the things that I have borrowed, everything's going to be in kids mode. So all these audiobooks are going to be kids. All the filtered items are going to be kids. So everything's in kids mode, appropriate for all ages. So adults too. Okay, so next we are going to talk about how to actually download or borrow a title. So one of the recent things that Hoopla has done is they have created some bonus borrows during this difficult time. So I'm going to show you guys how to get to bonus borrows, and I'm going to show you how to borrow one. So again, I'm going to go to audiobooks. All the formats are basically the same in the search menu. And then, so this filter is on, oh, I see. I'm still in kids mode. So let me go back. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to go back to audiobooks. So now I have this genre feature here. I'm going to click on that. And a really best way to see all of the bonus borrows, you can go to bonus borrows all audiobooks under genres. Also, under all genres, they break down into different categories. So bonus borrows, children's favorites, Christian living, classic stories. There's lots of different ones to choose in the audiobook section. And then also, if you go back, you can go to your search bar, and then you can search for bonus borrows this way. So we click in bonus borrows and search, and these books are all going to be bonus borrows, but we just want to make sure. So I see, oh, Mark Twain. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to make sure that down here in the summary section, it says bonus borrows, and it does. So this means that when I check out this item or borrow this item, it's not going to count towards my 15 monthly limit. So they're doing that through May 31st. So there's still some time to get some bonus borrows and use those to your advantage. So this is going to be the info page for the different items. So you're going to see a picture of the item. There's also the title. There's a user rating. This is what different people in Hoopla has rated the item as. It's going to give you the year that it's published, or rather that it was added. Also the pages. And then there's some other options here. If you don't have enough borrows, like say this wasn't a bonus borrow, you could favorite the item, and this would go under your favorites. You can also share the item, And if you are ready to do this, we will go ahead and borrow this item. So it's going to tell you how long you have the item available for and ask you if you are ready to borrow. And yes, we are going to go ahead and borrow this title. Okay. And it went ahead and downloaded it for me, but if it doesn't do it automatically, you can download it. There will be a button here that says download. So basically within Hoopla, you have two options. You can stream the movie or the book or audiobook while you're reading it, watching it, or you can download it now so that you will always have it available whether you have Wi-Fi or service, which is always a good idea because that way it's not using up your data if you don't have Wi-Fi. So it's automatically downloaded, so I already have it downloaded, and I could go ahead and read it right now. Um, if I was done with it, I could go ahead and return it. It's going to tell me when the book will be returned. And the great thing about Hoopla is there are no late fees because everything returns automatically. And then another feature that we won't see right now, but as it comes closer to the due date, within about 24 hours, it's going to ask if you want to renew this item if you're not finished with it yet. And then you can renew it, and then it'll just add to your next borrowing total. So that will be another option. So once you have borrowed an item, I'm going to go back to the home screen. It's going to take a couple of clicks. Your item will show up in the currently borrowed section here in the home screen. So then a couple of ways, once it's here, you can just go ahead and click to play it or start reading it. And then if you want to go to the page's info, you will actually just click this title here, and that will take you back there. Okay, so there are a couple other things I want to show you guys. With these three dots up here is your menu for settings and the help section. So we're going to go into settings to show you a couple of different settings that you have options. So this is another way to turn on kids mode, the first option. And then also there's borrowing history. So if there's something that you've borrowed before but you can't remember the name of, but you knew you borrowed it, you can go back and see your borrowing history. And also this option is to hide history. When you start borrowing items and once they've been returned, they're going to start showing up in that currently borrowed section underneath all your other borrows, just saying that that's what you borrowed before and it will let you borrow them again. If you don't want to see those there, you can turn that off here. Also, there's a Wi-Fi only downloads. So this will, if you turn this on, it will only let you download items while you have Wi-Fi. So that's going to protect you from using up your phone data, or if you have like data on your tablet or something like that, and it won't eat up that data. So you can only download on Wi-Fi. And then if you really need to do it on data and you have this turned on, you can simply go in and turn it off, download it, and then if you want to turn it back on, you can always do that. And then there's a couple of other things. You can link to a TV device. So Hoopla is available through a lot of different devices. So you can use it on a desktop computer, your phone, also you can use it on your tablet, but you can even use it on Alexa devices, a Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and Android TV. So you just gotta download the apps on those devices, and then you can access Hoopla on those. So this is the link where you will go to link it to your TV. And then there's just some other things that if you need to change your password or change your library, or if you need to change your library card and PIN. And then also at the very bottom is your recommendations and new content alerts. So if you're getting email notifications and you don't really want to get those, you can turn those off down here. And also push notifications, if you don't want those, you can turn those off down here as well. And then the log out button, which sometimes is hard to find, but it is under settings in Hoopla if you need to log out. You can always just leave it logged in. That way you don't have to log back in every time. But if you want to log out, maybe to put in a different account, you can do it under settings. So I'm going to go back to the home screen. And then I'm actually going to go back into this menu and I'm going to show you guys some of the help items that Hoopla has available as well. So they have these general help questions. So there's this whole list of what is Hoopla. Um, what is Hoopla? They tell you what Hoopla is, how much does it cost. It's free, and they tell you kind of why it's free, and they tell you how it works. So there's a lot of different things in this section if you're interested in that. There's also some how-tos if you are wanting to do something and are having trouble and you'd rather try to fix it yourself. There's a lot of information in there. There's also a lot of information under downloads if you're having trouble downloading. And then also tell you about kids mode and also the comic book reader. The comic books within Hoopla have like their own special viewing system. And this tells you kind of how you will read those. And also there's a common error messages. So if you're getting an error message, if you click in here and you find your error message, it'll kind of tell you why you're getting that message and what you can do to fix it. And then also they have, you can do some feedback, you can write a Google Play Store review. Also they have the privacy policy and terms and conditions under this About Hoopla section. So there's a lot of useful information in here if you need that. Okay, so I am going to go back to my home screen. And then I wanted to show you guys like how the formats look, because there's a lot of different features in the formats, but unfortunately with the way I'm showing my screen right now, I can't, everything turns black. So, but I can show you guys an audiobook. So I will show you that. So this looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and borrow this title. I'm going to play it. I'm just going to go ahead and push pause here. So this is what it will look like when you're playing an audiobook. And the nice thing about Hoopla, if you're playing like an audiobook or music CD, even a movie, I'm not sure about Androids, but the iPad, it will like let you bring the movie down in a smaller screen so you can kind of watch it and do other things. But it will continue playing while you're doing other things on your phone. So you don't have to just have this screen up. You can kind of multitask that way. But right in the middle, there's the drag menu. So you can drag it through the time. That's one way to kind of control it. But also you can go through different chapters with these right and left arrows. So you can go to chapter 2, chapter 3, this way. Also, a great feature, if you kind of missed something they were saying, you can go back 30 seconds at a time. And then maybe you went too far, so you can go back 30, go forward 30 seconds. And of course, there's the play and pause button in the middle. But then also, right above, which there's always a menu button in all the formats, whether it's an ebook or like a CD, there's going to be a menu button where you can do these extra things. So especially with the audiobooks and ebooks, you can add bookmarks. So if there's a part of the book that you're really interested in and you want to save it, you can add a bookmark, and then you can view all the bookmarks that you've saved. Also, there's a part where you can view all the chapters. Typically, they're going to tell you how long the chapters are and then how many chapters there are. So you can go to that chapter through this menu as well. So that's another way to go through. And then there's also a playback speed. So there's several different speeds that you can listen to the audiobook. So this would just be the speed that the author is reading or the narrator reading at. You could slow it down a little bit. Maybe they're talking a little too fast for you, but then you can also speed it up twice as fast, and then some intervals in between. 2 times is a little bit too fast for me. I can't quite comprehend what's going on, but you know, that's up to you. You can test it out, and depending on what the content is, you know, and how fast you want to hear it, you know, you just try it out and see. It's an interesting feature. And then lastly, there is a set sleep timer. So if you are listening to something before you're about to go to sleep and you don't want it playing through all night while you're sleeping, you can set a timer, and that's really convenient. So that's the audiobook. And so just to kind of give you an idea, you can check out all these different features and items within the ebooks and the comic books and the movies and television shows. They have different subtitles and items like that that you can check out. So, and if you have any questions ever about any of these features, please contact the library and we will help you the best we can. So that's all I have for you guys today. Um, so you can contact the library if you're ever having trouble with any of our digital content. Our phone number here is 740-453-0391. The extension at the Emerging Tech office is 150. Also, our website, muskegonlibrary.org, has several different ways you can contact us. And there's also a tech help page as well to tell you other different ways that we can help you guys. So that's all I have for today. I'm Jasmine, and you all have an awesome day. Thank you.